Okay, National Chess fans, U.S. President's Chess Federation, everybody else anywhere that's watching, North America or otherwise, we have another one to look at here, conducting the black pieces. We're going to look at the Scandinavian defense today, brought to you by myself, guys, your operator, your host with the black pieces here. So my opponent starting the game with e4. Most people online just play e4. I think most people in general today start with e4 with white. Anyway, let's teach another lesson. Let's teach white another lesson, as I do on so many occasions. I have over 60 videos of how to win clearly, even when the best moves are played with white, according to modern theory. And I suggest you guys look through most of them and learn from them. I don't expect you to repeat the games because, again, most chess games can't be repeated, although they are to some point at certain extents on certain occasions at the higher levels. Anyways, take my advice and just watch and learn. And take from it what you will so you can improve in your chess games, whoever you may be. So yes, this is a gambit, the Scandinavian defense. Typically queen captures on d5. There are certain lines here where a queen does not recapture, and some people like to play the move knight f6 here. It's a book move. And maybe white would like to defend here. We're just regaining possession, and the game can continue. That did not happen in the match here, this particular. Well, the game of all games, guys. Every game I play is the best game, so. Knight to c3 and queen to d6. Knight to f3, so my opponent has developed both queenside and kingside knights. And now we have bishop to g4. I'm ready to give up the light square bishop for tactics in the Scandinavian, as I'm an expert in virtually all main opening lines in theory. So here comes short castles, knight d7 and d3. Knight e5 now, forking the bishop and the queen, so one for sure is going to go down now. Queen drops back to e2, knight captures, and now there are long side castles after this maneuver. There are double pawns here on the c file for white, so black already stands better, in a sense. Rook to d1 now, queen to c7 is the best move, protecting, still defending, and putting the queen on a good square. So bishop to e3 now and b6. Rook into d8. Rook d1. Bishop to g5. Bishop e7, dropping the bishop back to e3. Horse f6. And bishop d4, and now c5. Okay, so my opponent decided to capture here, and bishop f6. Guys, a lot of you guys need to focus on what chess is versus what chess is not. Chess is not a game like checkers, drafts, or Battleship or any of these sorts of things. It's you got to have a taste for chess. You have to understand the dynamics of piece functions, variations. It's not what you think it is. Just because you think the pieces move like this or they have certain functions doesn't mean that that's actually how they're supposed to be operated on in certain lines. So my point is that I've made a lot of videos now where we have proved that this c3 queenside knight in many opening lines, different universes, that this c3 knight is going to be inferior to this dark square bishop. So no surprise that in this position, my opponent went ahead and hopped over to e4, now to attack the bishop. Well, the engine suggests bishop to e5, saying is undoubtedly the best move. But instead, I went against code, and I captured the b2 pawn. So in doing so, my opponent threw a check, and maybe not knowing that my queen was guarding f7, he went ahead and captured. And I captured his sacrificed knight here in this position, but it's not all completely said and done, even though black is up a full minor piece plus 3 in this position. Because after rook d3, now there's back rank threats, and c3 trying to trap the bishop there on the queen side. Yes, white now gets a check, so now white is getting some counterplay, and it's not completely clear that black has this position almost certainly won, as it does, given the material because as we mentioned, there are some counterplays. Now queen c6 check is coming. Yeah, blocking with the queen. And good thing you don't have to worry about something like rook to d7 here. In a way, well, I guess rook to d7 was a big threat that I had missed. Was rook to d7 possible? Oh no, you're not supposed to play rook to d7, right? If you play rook to d7, then just queen captures queen. So anyway, in the game we saw queen takes d6, so white is winning a pawn after the check. So again, white has gotten a lot of counterplay in this middle game, despite being down a whole minor piece. Well, dark squared bishop is better than most minor pieces, guys. A dark squared bishop, like I tell you, in endgames is probably worth about 4 points compared to, you know, your common horse at the end in theory, which is only worth about 3, depending on the course of the knight in the particular line that you've been setting up with. Guys, chess is very complicated. It's not something where, you know, you start playing people that know how to play and you're going to lose games, right? Until you figure out how to become more achieving in what you come up with, right, in your world, and then that transcends to the level where now you can become competitive and maybe win some games at a higher level, and then when you have the confidence in your abilities and you're able to be consistent, then you can start winning games, okay, like me. So, okay, queen e6 now, and king to b8. Rook to d7, now putting major pressure on my c7 queen as it does, but then queen drops back to c8, and it's not really clear where the threat is now for white. I think black is now just a whole lot better. Guys, play the best move in this position. Bishop to c7. Play like a chess player. Play like a grandmaster. You know, better than a grandmaster. You know, mainframe master. Make it work. Rook to e8, swinging over now, and g4 wasn't really a move because now rook to e1 and king to g2. Now there's another check on the long a diagonal. And rook to d5 was a little innovative technique to block, but then again, after queen to c6 and h4, this is fine because now there's still another check that's coming. White throws a check on f8 and queen to f3. And now basically forcing an exchange. White does not have to take the exchange immediately in this position. Maybe white could play a move first like rook to d7, and after captures, and then, well, yeah, you know, you can't just start, if it gets to this position, you can't just start capturing here because, you know, all this is happening, and black can easily defend these passer pawns at some point, especially now because maybe black has another move. You know, if he pushes here, well, takes, start pushing these pawns, yeah, I guess. Then you're going to lose this pawn automatically, and that also comes with check. So, yeah, black is just completely winning, and white is sorely lost in that position. So that was some virtual analysis, guys, brought to you by your operator, national operator. Queen takes c4 now, and yeah, rook takes c4, and then this is the endgame. So, despite white having 2 extra pawns, they're not the best pawns because, again, right, we talked about these double pawns here on the c file very early in the game, if you guys are, you know, awake and paying attention. There's actually a check here. You know, you take g4 with check, and then after the king moves, you capture on c4. Rook h7 now trying to cause some problems, maybe pinning my c7 bishop. King goes to g4, and now there's takes. And these passed pawns don't matter. There's a check there. King h5, rook f2, king g6, and now the c pawn is ready to walk up the board. Even though the f pawn is closer to the finish line, if you guys are able to calculate this line, there is no way to save c8 at this point. It's just too late. The rook can't defend. This h-rook, that is. It's too late. So the engine recommends in this position any move. You know, just give up the rook and just, you know, basically give up. That's what the engine's saying. But instead, queens, as partner maybe wanted here. Santiago Buena Vista here from Spain. And just capturing, guys. And in this position, black is up a bishop and a queen. So black is +8. I mean, you guys should really know at this point after watching all my videos on my virtual tutorials and instructionals, you guys should know how to win a +8 endgame. I mean, come on. It's a queen and a bishop for a rook. And you have a pawn as well. So thank you everyone for participating and watching Online FIDE Arena 2021. And we are exactly at 10 minutes. And I want to say thank you guys. Take care and bye-bye for now. See everyone on the other side of the board. And good luck with your chess online as well. Take care and share your comments below. This was the Scandinavian Defense. Take care, guys. Many more to come. Bye-bye for now.